For over a year, insecurity and violence have gripped Sinaloa like never before. From the heart of the mountains to the city avenues, a wave of assassinations, vandalism, and disappearances has shattered everything in its path. The city, once defined by its beautiful rivers, is now a desolate battlefield. How is it that the united front that forced the government to submit in 2019 is now, in 2026, fractured and tearing itself apart? The Sinaloa Cartel was once divided into different factions and armed commands operating under mutual agreements. The primary faction was La Chapiza, under the orders of Joaquin Guzman Loera. After his imprisonment, leadership fell to his sons, a group known as Los Menores or Los Chapitos. They primarily operated in northern and central Sinaloa, maintaining total control over the capital and the northern towns. The faction known as La Mayisa was led by Ismael Zambada and his son. They moved through southern Sinaloa, the state of Durango, and other regions both nationally and internationally. Within Sinaloa, their presence was not massive, but rather symbolic. The war ignited when Ismael Zambada was handed over to U.S. authorities by one of El Chapo Guzman's sons. The leader of Los Menores, Ivan Archibaldo Guzman, believed their numerical superiority would be enough to deter an armed conflict with the opposing side. He was wrong. The internal cartel war has been intense, seemingly prolonging itself without end, while the Mexican government watches the spectacle from the sidelines. The only victims are the citizens, paying the price for living in a disputed territory. The war began on September 9, 2024. Reports of armed clashes in rural areas flooded in from all directions. Roads blocked and vehicles destroyed throughout the towns were the result of a total lack of authority. The armed forces arrived only after the fighting had ended, simply to clear the debris. This first confrontation, locally known as a topon, was the warning of what was to come. The town was shredded by bullets, yet it was only a fraction of the terror that would soon be unleashed. Many refused to leave their homes, fearing a repeat of the 2019 Culiacanazo. However, State Governor Rocha Moya declared these were isolated incidents and claimed safety was guaranteed, insisting that life must go on. After all, who could stay hidden for over a year while the rest of the world moves forward? As days passed, bodies marked with messages and signs of torture accumulated. The messages were sometimes banners, other times pizza boxes, and sometimes hats, sombreros. This was how they signaled warnings to their rivals and informed the population about who was gaining ground. This unprecedented war showcased technological advancements. They were now fighting with drones and signal jammers. How did these armed groups acquire this technology and training? Do these private militias now possess the same resources as the state's forces? One of the operations that defined the course of the war was the arrest of a high-ranking member of the Chapitos faction. The detainee was the infamous P, who served as second-in-command to the former plaza boss of Culiacan. Days later, authorities attempted to capture another vital member near a major shopping mall. But the mission failed. Municipal police officers, at the service of organized crime, helped the kingpin, known as Paris 27, escape. One of the most brutal acts marking the start of the conflict was a van abandoned with its rear doors open, containing 6 human remains. Scrawled on the side of the vehicle was a message, "Welcome to Culiacan." This macabre discovery occurred just one day before the President of the Republic arrived in the state. The violence offered no truce. Every day victims were found executed. Every day people were kidnapped from different points of the city. Some appeared dead days later. Others remain missing to this day. The war escalated further, reaching the highest circles of power. In October, a former mayor and prominent ranching leader, was assassinated inside his home in an exclusive neighborhood. This would be the first of several attacks against government leaders and relatives of the governor. In every war, propaganda is essential. From the beginning of the conflict, lists of alleged collaborators famous on social media were dropped from planes, much like a scene out of GTA. Public threats were made against men and women who appear to be influencers, accusing them of money laundering, extortion, or broadcasting content favoring the rival faction. To date, at least 4 people mentioned in those pamphlets have been murdered. TikTok pages, WhatsApp channels, and YouTube accounts were created where each faction narrates its own version of events. While the violence and insecurity never cease, they use it to create content, attempting to polish their image before a terrified public. What started as a betrayal between families has evolved into a war of attrition that has redefined life in Sinaloa. It is no longer just about guns. It's about drones, signal jammers, and a psychological battle fought through social media. As the factions of the Chapitos and the Maiza continue to fracture, the state remains trapped in a stalemate where the authorities seem either unable or unwilling to intervene. This is the endless war, and for the citizens of Sinaloa, the worst may be yet to come. This has been Malverde Cyberpunk. Subscribe for more deep dives into Mexican crime.